everybody. I am Dr. Diksha Gijwani from Department of Public Health Dentistry, Surendra Dental College and Research Institute. Today we are discussing the MOOC course Basic Epidemiology Module 3, that is Case Control Study. Case Control Study is also known as retrospective study. This is the first approach to test hypothesis to form a rejection or approval of hypothesis. It having a three features with both exposure and outcome can be occurred before the start of study, cause to effect, and use a comparison group. There are four basic steps of case control study. First is the selection of cases and control, matching, measurement of exposure, and last important step is analysis and interpretation. First is selection of cases and control. Selection of cases can be improved with two specifications. The first is the diagnostic criteria in which disease and stages of disease. Second is eligibility criteria in which new cases are defined. Next is what are the source of cases. Source of cases can be hospital, it can be single or network random sample or entire series. It can be general population. Selection of control. Control should be free from the disease under study. Sources are hospital control from same hospital as case with different disease. Relatives like spouses and siblings. Neighborhood control, same locality, school, factory. And general population with defined geographical area. It means कि case and control having a same geographical area. Next important step in a case control study is matching. Matching is the process by which we select control in such a way that they are similar to cases with regards to certain pertinent selected variables such as age, gender, which are known to influence the outcome of disease and which, if not adequately matched for comparability, should distort or confound the results. Matching can be done as variables like age, sex, race, socioeconomic status. These are some examples of matching. Next important point is the confounding factors. Confounding factor is defined as one which associated both with exposure and disease, is distributed unequally in study or control group. More specifically, the confounding factor is one that, although associated with exposure under investigation, it's itself independent of any such association is risk factor for the disease. For example, in the study of the role of alcohol in etiology of esophageal cancer, smoking is a confounding factor because it is associated with consumption of alcohol. It is an independent risk factor for esophageal cancer. So, effect of alcohol consumption can be determined only if the influence of smoking is neutralized by matching. Next, there are two types of matching. First is the group matching and second is the pair matching. Group matching, this can be done by assessing the cases to subcategory based on their characteristics like age and occupation. Pair matching is the matching in which each case or control is chosen which can be matched quite closely. Now, next important step is the measurement of exposure and other factors. How we can measure the exposure and factors? So, first we can obtain by interview, questionnaire base, study past record of cases such as from hospital record and employment record, clinical or laboratory examination. Now, last and final step is the analysis. Analysis is exposure rate among cases and control to be suspected factor, and the estimation of disease risk associated with exposure, that is odds ratio. Now comes to the exposure rate. If you want to find out the exposure rate of cases, that is A divided plus A plus C is equal to 94.2% having a exposure, and the control having B divided by B plus D, that is 67% of having a non-cancer exposure rate. Next is the estimation of risk. Disease risk is measured by relative risk or risk ratio. So risk ratio is equal to incidence among exposed divided by incidence among non-exposed. So A divided by A plus D and divided by C plus D give us a risk ratio of any population. Next is the odd ratio, also known as cross product ratio. It measures the strength of association between risk factor and outcome. It is based on three assumptions. First is the disease being investigated must be relatively rare. The case must be representative of those with the disease. Controls be representative of those without the disease. So we can find out the odd ratio with A into D divided by B into C. Now there are lots of bias in case control study. So first we have to know about what is bias. Bias is a systematic error in the determination of the association between exposure and the disease. First bias is bias due to confounding, which we can remove by matching. Memory or recall bias. Cases more likely to be recall events. And the selection bias. Parkinsonian bias, that is given by Dr. Joseph Parkinson, is the different rate of admission to the hospital with different disease. Last is the interviewer bias. Now what are the advantages of case control? It is easy to carry out, rapid and inexpensive, few subjects, rare disease, non-risk to subjects, study different etiology factor, risk factor can be identified, and ethical problems are minimal. Disadvantage, the chances of bias are higher. Selection of appropriate control group can be difficult, cannot measure incidence, do not distinguish between cases and associated factor, not suited for evaluation of therapy, and representativeness of the case and control is hard. Thank you. So in next module we discuss about the cohort study, which is another analytical study.